It is a brand new day. Coffee, some lubriplate, surface prep, some high-tack, and aerobic, and some sealant that I cut the end off entirely too much. Battery's about dead and torque wrench. I bet it'll die halfway through our sequence here. We are gonna shoot for getting that done today. Looks like I'm the first one in the shop. Yep, south shop's closed down. Actually, because that red light is on right there, that means Julie beat me in. Yep, she already turned everything on. Look at her. She beat me in. There's our white dually. That's got its day someday here. I don't even know all the stories with all of them. There's trucks everywhere. I think I am going to resort to storing our intakes outside. They take a long time to get clean. I don't just go clean the whole intake all the way from start to finish. And when the cleaners are about ready to be changed, I go through and then I get balls to the wall in all the intakes and completely kill the charge the rest of the way. And then sometimes I'll wind up with an intake or two done from that process, but we do wind up getting a lot of nasty crap out of them, and it kills the water. So it's a perfect time right before we change the fluid in it. But I'm gonna start keeping intakes outside. I'm not there, I'm gonna get a pallet and just stack them up outside, and when it's cleaning time, we'll just bring the pallet in, and maybe the rain and the sun and everything will dry them out and they'll clean better, who knows. That stuff don't come off for nothing anyways. She greets us every morning. All you gotta do is get close to her, and she's like, oh, please pet me, please pet me. Oh, I just wanna be petted so bad. She will. That's midnight. You know, I was thinking about the, having Cody polish his fingernails on this and tighten all them numbers up. You know, I might just wait because it's so easy afterwards, especially since we're not spinning the crankshaft. Why don't this range of them, a little variance might help us with the rods. We could heaviest piston with the lightest small end of the rod, and having a little bit of a range, who knows? But if they do get out, then we could just run over real quick and take a couple of tenths out of the piston. But we have, okay, you know what? The coin is still in the air on whether or not we are gonna use these rod bushings. They're big. They're 2.5 thousandths. Okay, I'm kind of BSing because I'm not wanting to sound as bad as it was. They're actually about 3.2. 32. The spec is 5 to 9, and we're at 32. So that puts it a little bit into perspective. Rod bushings are supposed to be tight. They got less than 1 thousandths clearance, and we've got 3.2 thousandths clearance. I'm just worried. I don't want it to run that loose. I mean, but then, I mean, it'd be nice if they were just maybe 2, maybe double the spec, maybe 2 thousandths, but 3 it's just a bit much. I mean, it's going to be bouncing back and forth on the connecting rod as it changes direction. You know, the compression stroke's not going to be so bad because it's going to be pushing one way on it. But when it goes down at the bottom, it's just a change direction of the piston, and so it's going to clunk. It's going to, if there's any play in it, when that piston's going down and the rod is telling it to come back up, it just physics says it's gonna go plunk and start turning around and go the other way. How many times do you think it can bang like that before either the pin boss breaks out of the piston or the rod stretch rod? Is that a term? Anybody ever stretched a freaking rod? Because you're really not supposed to stretch a rod. It's yeah, you bend a rod. Who knows? I mean, maybe if they get enough, maybe they can stretch, but that's probably like the muffler bearings. We're pretty close though. Got the lifters in oil there. Got the branch tube, some freaking wear. Back there. Right there. So I think we have everything in this vicinity of the shop that we would need. That was pretty much our, oh, there's our torque wrench for 6/4s. Okay, so that needs to go up there. But most of the stuff that we need is now in this corner of the shop, kind of. So that was a pretty major endeavor, considering that the shop grew a lot. I mean, we got shelves here, we got shelves over there, we got shelves in there, we got shelves up there, and we got shelves in another building over there. So getting everything that we needed is an endeavor. Okay, so we got this idea now. We're gonna, Jesus. Okay, let's hang on. Let's do this. Oh, shut the door. Yep. More? So it was horribly muddy when we pulled this in, like really bad. Still got the marks to prove it. So we're gonna just pull it forward so that the back tire is up against the lift and we can open the doors on the other side of the lift and have all kinds of room. Why we didn't do it before, who knows? Go for it. Oh, come on, knock more off than that. Pretty close with the surfacer. Leaving some mud. I mean, that clears the back doors. Look at all that mud. About two inches. You're good right there, just leave it right there. So it didn't knock crap off. Maybe we ought to take it outside and just drive it around a little bit. Because it's gonna be kind of annoying to have all that mud all over it for the whole job. Now we can at least sweep this up and pick this stuff up. It didn't get it all off of there. Damn it.
So just a nice little coat.
I like to go quite a bit. I want a little bit down in there. This stuff is easy to not get a good coat. I want it to be almost puddled in there. A little bit. So we don't get too carried away. Now, these Velcro bed plates are just a hair shorter. Don't know that I really mind it because they have to put one in, hold it up in the air, put one in, go right there in the lock. I've got it straight, and now we'll just pull it to it because, like I said, the Velcros are a little bit shorter. Press it in the middle real lightly because with that high tack, your hands will stick to it. So just walk it down in there. There's one.
Yeah.
The other one, now I got the high tack all over my freaking hands, so.
They're sticky. This is one of the 3 jobs you wear gloves for.
Yep.
Or is there 4 jobs?
Well, I use the same gloves for the high tack and the anaerobic. So
Yeah.
right now, let's do that.
But then we have oil galley plugs, head studs.
Take this off. I like to keep this on here. And then we use this here
Yes.
to kind of cover it. Like I said, kind of. And then use the surface prep. Because this makes that anaerobic.
Super happy.
Just take it on there a little bit. It dries pretty much clear. See it dripping off the edge? That freaking sucks. So don't drip it on it. I imagine it probably isn't very happy on crank journals. So I'll try to cover as much as I can and just throw some on it. I'm getting a little inside, but this makes that anaerobic just very happy. Now I'm gonna throw this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't need a lot, hardly at all. So it's okay if it spreads a little bit because I go over with my fingers and smooth it by hand because we don't need a ridiculous amount. You need the glove tight on your finger because look, I just got it on that dowel. I have to wipe that off. But I kind of go around like welding. See how I'm like rub it in a circle and watch what it does. You rub it in a circle and it cakes all of it like you're welding it, kind of. Then we'll steal some and move it down because like I said, it's gonna be very easy to overcoat this. And it, don't overcoat. All it's gonna do is smash out, which we pull it out from the inside. I'll show you that in a minute, but we don't need to overcoat it. So this one I'm reaching all the way over here. This one is a lot easier. I like to do the hard one first. And I mean, we could spin the bed plate around because it's real easy to do this job right here with it right in front of your face. So maybe if you're struggling getting this smeared around and a good coat on it, then spin it around so it's right in front of your face. But I'm not gonna. Okay, that's what I'd like it to look like. All the blue covered, just a thin skim. I mean, it's not, I mean, they're probably arguably a little too much there. I kind of coated, and when it smashes down, I mean, it goes out everywhere. So we don't want enough, we just want enough to fill the imperfections. And then I'll put some of the TA 31, 29 on the ends and just let it go in. I used to stop this early and put the sealant on the end, but I started to just run anaerobic all the way down and then just letting the sealant mix with the anaerobic. And I've had fairly good luck with that. So until it bites us, I'll probably keep doing that, because I don't like having the anaerobic stop before the end, because that anaerobic is awesome stuff.
Little spot of TA, that's
I don't
31.
know if that's 29 or 30.
That's 31.
TA 31, whatever.
TA 29's in a squeeze tube, and the TA 31 is in a cock tube.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep, that's the difference.
Put some motor plate on it.
And give it a nice little skim.
Oh, let's see if I can do this without dropping it. Now, in order to tighten this thing, don't forget, I didn't show it in the last one, but don't forget to oil up the mating surface a little bit so that we're not overcoming massive amounts of friction. A little bit of oil does just fine. Let's run them down a little bit. I'm not touching them yet. I'm just getting the threads engaged. Right here, I don't get too proud. I still watch the torque sequence. Julie takes it out and sets it right here. So when we tighten the first one down, I used to have it before we used the high tack spray. If you would tighten it down in the middle and follow the sequence very regularly, it would actually squeeze it down and push the bed plate seal out. It did that a lot. So right now, we're gonna wash this, and as I tighten the first one, just even barely touch it, see it move. So that's my first step. Go down till it moves. Same on this side. And then
Cody's back there trying to pick out some
he doesn't
rods.
like any rods. Just going down lightly, just so it touches, and then it's pushing. I mean, I've already pushed it all out. Now,
But we had it where it squeezed the Ford gaskets out, I don't know, a quarter of an inch or so. You can
Yeah.
physically see it.
it was a pain in the butt. I took a lot of bed plates back off at this point when I was torquing it, and then it would just push the bed plate out, and I got so freaking sick and tired of it. The high tack spray eliminated that.
Yep, helped a lot.
Let's start our sequence. 90, 120, 170. Here we go. 90 pounds, because it do about the same thing on both of them, but here we go.
Pushing the sealant.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's 90. Now what I really should do is go around and Milwaukee the rest of them, but I'll do that after this. I'll do the other side. It would probably squeeze that out a little bit too. Okay, now I'll take, now that we have those two, I don't want to sit there and spin the freaking torque wrench. So, where are we at here?
Run the rest down to touch.
Makes the job a lot easier. Now I don't have to go a whole crap load. It should just be one turn like that.
And you do that, what, 20 times?
Yep.
And then 20 more times. And then 20 more times. Okay, have fun. Okay, here's 120.
Barely turns on these.
And we'll be back when it's time to go to 170.
170. I gotta get myself set up here and pull. That way, when I pull this, it's one smooth motion. I want to be able to just pull it easy.
And then we'll go in and wipe off that anaerobic that's squished out. So he puts gloves back on to do that too.
Last one.
Final end at 170. Yeah. Okay.
Spins good.
All right.
Hands are a little greasy.
Oh, look at that.
You can tell it's lubricate and not oil. Definitely. I'm very happy with that. You can tell. So, not gonna lie, that's. Come here, feel it. That's beautiful. You can be dirty. You can be dirty. Come on. You can be dirty. Oh, it feels so good right here. Little tight because it's got lubricate, not oil. Feel for any binding, any tight spots, anything at all. You fucker. It feels good though, huh? Smooth the whole way through. You feel. I love it. I probably could put that other glove back on, couldn't I?
Maybe. It's fine. You can use a new pair. Or a new one.
Spring, yeah, just one. We're not going to use the whole pair.
Yeah, just one.
Now we're going to spin it around and pull the anaerobic that's on the inside. That little bit right there. Yeah, I actually rub my hand on it and pull that stuff off and kind of make a little coating. That one's
You can reach that one pretty good.
not really. Let's go spin it.
What about this one? There's nothing in the way.
Yeah, I mean, but it could go a little more, so I'm away from that ear.
Okay.
This one, right here. I can do this one.
All right.
See that one, how clear it is? I mean, another scientific thing here. Rub my finger on it, and then take the end and rub it like that. Now look at it. Yeah, maybe rub it one more time, but that's what we wind up with.
So we'll go do that on each one.
It's a good time to go in the trash can.
Mm-hmm.
And just grab whatever trash we got. Yeah, none of the other ones are available. All of them will spin so that the ear is... Actually, let's go. That way just... Get this one. So that's what... Yeah, just pull all that out. Make a nice smooth line.
Let's see if he tells me to get out of his way.
See, and then I'll go over it again. That's pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
And then when we spin this, it does make sense to only rotate the crank clockwise, the way it's gonna go. Otherwise, the sanding of the crank and just the bearings are used to going one way, and when they're sanded, the kind of the grain of the sand is going with the bearing. So if we spin it backwards even one time, any of that stuff could potentially catch in the bearing and just start chewing stuff up. But I would do it with this one next time.
Okay, I'll grab that one next time.
You just
120 inch-pounds.
you'd be like,
Don't forget to put in your lifters and your branch tube before you put on the rear cover.
I've done that before. I forgot.
Well, not the lifters, but the
I
branch
forgot the
tube.
branch tube once,
In our defense, the branch tube was not even in the building,
but I did it.
but
Both
we
that
did.
thing and thought it was done. Rear cover on, rear main seal, all that done. Oh shit! What did we do?
Yeah.
Okay, so the little anaerobic we got. It's okay. It's actually sealing it, so I don't want to clean a whole bunch of it off.
So we
But-
clean this up.
Go around and make sure lubricate from assembly, because look, I got some lubricate. Obviously, it will not stick to nothing if you got lubricate on the mating surface before we seal it, because I seal all of this.
Yeah. So clean
We'll
it.
do one last wipe. Damn it.
Check it. Oh goodness.
Well, these towels right here. If you use these towels right here, then you will know when it's clean. Those other towels, you don't freaking know. Them towels are dirty any freaking ways. So at this point, very lightly blow it off. And where we're at right now, I really don't care where the lint is, just as long as it's not on this mating circle. So I want to, but every one I'm touching, I want to rub over it, make sure there's no oil, make sure it feels good, got clean hands, before we go sealing it and putting the front cover on. Because I really, really like it when they're dry and they don't leak. Hate this because I cut that off so much. This is going to take forever. You know what? I don't even want you to see this. Get out of here.
Okay, Benz, you weren't allowed to see the sealant.
You can see the aftermath of it. Now take this and push this right here and let it smash out as much as we can. Take that, let it smash out. I'll go ahead and take some of it off. Just walk around and just touch it. Just touch it everywhere. Watch for anything to smash out that we need to clean off. You know, like just run around there and take some of that crap off.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got it on me. Take a little bit of that. It looks really decent. I'm try to be a little more forgiving here and just put a couple of spots once again because that's cut off so freaking much. And then we'll just smear it around. Now that's the kind of skim that I'd rather have. Very thin, like real thin. I wish I would have not cut that. I might just have to throw it away. See,
It's almost gone.
rather have just a little, you know, just a little thin skim. Just enough to fill any imperfections. That's good.
We love that little DeWalt.
Use the heck out of
It
it.
is, yes, so handy. So we'll get these in and then get to the rear
and then
cover.
We can eat because there's
Yeah.
food here, and we just kind of. This is our do not stop time.
Yep.
Okay, when the bed plate goes on, yeah, it's front, rear covers, lifters, branch tube, and all this sealant.
Not in that order.
Yeah, so that this sealant is
All drying.
pure. You see it all
Yep.
coming out of there? We got it on both sides. They're coming out of, not really on the
We just
front
want it
cover side. It didn't really get too,
too carried away.
yeah, just a little bit, just so the rubber sticks to the aluminum is all we really go for.
So it'll be great.
Oh my God.
18 on these, but
I think, maybe I'll check.
I'll go check. Let's see. I like testing him on a regular basis. He was right. 18 foot-pounds.
Same thing. See if it's clean. Same concept applies right here, the head gaskets and everything. If there's dirt in the metal right here, that dirt, then that takes the place of sealant, and it's not going to get a good seal. Because I seal this back cover, the rear cover too. Put a little sealant on it, just thin, a little bit. Just
Get it all cleaned up. We got the gasket all pressed in. Looks good.
and then blow gun to lightly blow off this fuzz. And then this is a good time too. Feel free to wipe over that because it's the last time that you're going to be able to wipe the whole thing. Well, I mean, you can, but the rear cover's going to be there. So
Yeah.
feel free to
Clean
wipe
that
it
off too.
right now. Same thing, just since it's so big, I'll just do a couple of little spots and then go around and just fill it in. Like I said, I really want a very, very small amount. This does not need to be all crazy nasty, but I do want it to go down in there a little bit. Kind of work that a little bit just so it's a ball of crap. It'll all seal up. That is for a rear T-joint too. If you wind up taking a rear cover off while the truck's in service, you know, I mean, you can take it off, but you can't guarantee it ain't gonna leak after you do it. So, round bolt to the outside there. Go around. Take it in and just thin. Hardly any. Good enough. At least it's got I mean, it looks thick. It's not thick. Hardly at all. Put the rear cover on now. Look, no sealing on this because it's good. It'll mate up. So I would put one side right there, the dowel, and then line the other dowel up, and then just hold it for a minute, and just light tap. Done. Now I'll take a 10, the wall. That'll hold it.
Yay.
Okay, so we got the 5.4 here that we're gonna be replacing that one with, but it's just a blown out plug wire. We didn't really look at it too close.
Oh, no, it's not. It's this right here.
Oh.
Right here on this. That
Oh,
thing's
okay,
broke.
so it's the EPR2. Maybe I wasn't feeling it then. They have some rubber right there. See that coil pack right there? They got rubber packed up on it. So I wanted to see if we can feel exhaust or hear exhaust coming out from the bottom of that one. Let's do that real quick. Okay, we're in mod motor world.
I think we're still gonna have to pull the cab up just to get to everything and check everything out.
What's up with that coolant? Is
But I
that
don't
coolant,
want it.
guys? What do you think? Is that coolant? This one was plugged. What do you think the odds are that this F-150 harness can be trashed and use the Expedition harness in the F-150? I was thinking probably about 0%. But it might, maybe. But we're deciding right now. We're doing a little job here. Swap the engine out. This was bought because the engine ran, and we're just gonna throw it in that one right there. Yeah. So the difference is, and I just came off of this with Tanner's truck. I say just, but it was 4 years ago, with different parts of mod motors and harnesses and stuff. So I'm not very optimistic that we'll be able to use the harness, but we need to because that harness has got burn marks and it's freaking trusty.
Yeah, slope it. You want high against the building and slope it away so the water lands there. So if we need to put more dirt and slope it a little more to keep it, well, you don't have no rain gutters on this side. There was, but remember I took them off. If it gets real bad right here, we'll cut the concrete, yay big, away from the wall, and we'll dig out and dig down, and we'll put a drain in.
Yeah, just put it right.
Yeah, we'll just make our own drain.
Sump pump. We'll run a cord there to it.
Yeah.
Since it's uphill everywhere, we're not really in a good downhill area
Yeah.
to
Well,
we
deliver
can
the
just-
water somewhere.
No. Yeah, to sump pump, then you'd be able to wash there a lot better. And,
Oh, I'd love,
yeah, that actually wouldn't be that bad. It'd be
yeah, I'd
something.
love to be able to wash with them.
Okay, I was trying to get us to mod motor world, but everybody vetoed me and said we're gonna go over here and go in building world. We got a little water that sticks over here, so just, I mean, we're always trying to address something. Always trying to make something better.